Welcome to our final presentation for Texas Department of Transportation. My name is Reese McAmoyle. My major is Public Relations, and I'm currently a senior at Texas State University.
Hi, my name is Brooke Nielsen. I'm a junior at Texas State, and my major is public relations with a minor in sociology.
Hi, I'm Kaiten Carruthers. I'm a junior at Texas State University, and I'm a major in public relations.
Hello, my name is Paige Melcher. I'm a junior at Texas State University, and my major is public relations. I'm going to introduce you to our client this semester at the Texas Department of Transportation. This is Michael Chacon. He has been with the Texas Department of Safety for over 29 years and has held the position of Director of Safety for 6. He is in charge of traffic management, behavioral traffic safety, crash data analysis, engineering and non-engineering safety. What one of his departments does is they record every crash on the roadways in Texas for the past 10 years, which is why we are interested in their crash data analysis, as it directly correlates to the issue that we are trying to solve. The problem we are trying to solve is why the number of driving deaths has increased since the COVID pandemic. What we decided to focus on was distracted driving with the age groups of 20 to 24 and 25 to 34.
Our goal of this research is to determine if the campaign, specifically in our case, TXdot crash, to help to minimize road death tolls related to distracted driving for ages 20 to 24 and 24 to 34. A crucial construct that pairs well with the research we are working on is a distraction. This fundamental construct, distraction, is simply defined as something that prevents someone from giving their full attention to something else. This key construct is related to our problem of distracted driving because not only is it the first word of our actual situation, being distracted, but also being distracted is the #1 problem of distracted driving, plain and simple. After researching our problem of distracted driving, we found these 3 academic research papers that dealt with the same problem and construct, as listed below. Next slide. We came up with a bunch of research questions, but we landed on these 4. Our research questions that we have. These are our research questions. Have you ever been affected by distracted driving? Have you seen distracted driving campaigns? No texting or driving billboards or advertisements. Have the campaigns you've seen had any effect on you? Do you feel like the campaigns you've seen are an effective way to influence the behavior of distracted driving? After analyzing our research, our secondary analysts, and mentioned before, we can move on to the part of answering the research questions we've proposed. One of the research questions in our secondary data analysis was, has this campaign affected the amount of distracted driving incidents? The variables for this question include the year of the crash and the number of tickets given for distracted driving. In recent years, the number of distracted driving accidents from age ranges of 20 to 24 and 24 to 34 have risen. According to the chart, 2019 and 2020 were the 2 years of the least distracted driving accidents with age ranges of 20 to 24 and 24 to 34 years old. The findings show that recent text crash campaigns are impractical. The number of crashes due to distracted driving has escalated in recent years, as you can see in the chart to the.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Do you need to go back one?
No, you're good.
Sure.
Our findings for research question #1 are that the data to research question #1 is that from the people we asked this question to, all of them responded by saying that they have been affected by distracted driving at some point in their lives. Even if the person responding to the question was personally affected, they know someone close to them who has been affected or they have been affected mentally or not, and not physically. This tells us that overall, everyone who has a license or is able to drive on the roads has been affected by distracted driving one way or another. To the client and the problem we are trying to solve of minimizing road death tolls related to distracted driving for ages 20 to 24 and 24 to 34, these findings mean that in order to significantly minimize road death tolls related to distracted driving, there would need to be a significant decrease in all ways of distracted driving. The findings for research question 2 are presented in the table below. As presented in the table, we can see that 87% of the people we asked have seen distracted driving campaigns on the roads or elsewhere, and about 13% have not seen any. These are our findings for research question 1 presented in the table below. After taking a look at this table, we can see that 30% of the people we asked this question to have been affected by the campaigns they have seen, and 63% of the people we asked have personally not been affected by these distracted driving campaigns. And finally, our question 4 is presented in the table below. As you can see from the table, 62% of the people we asked do believe that the campaigns they see about distracted driving are an effective way to influence the behavior of distracted driving. But by taking a look at the table again, we can also see that 38% of the people we asked believe that the campaigns are not an effective way to influence the behavior of distracted driving.
So for the focus group method, we have asked 8 different people these 4 questions that pertain to distracted driving. I'll reiterate the questions. Number 1, have they been affected by distracted driving? 2, if they have seen the campaigns. 3, if the campaigns have had any effect on them. 4, do they feel like the campaigns are an effective way to influence behavior? We found these people to conduct the survey by emailing and recruiting people we knew that lived in Texas. There wasn't a point to find someone out of state considering the TXdot campaigns exist in Texas. If some did not get back to us through email, we decided to send out text, phone calls, and even left voicemails. Most of us were able to get an in-person conversation and recorded the questionnaire, while others were only able to conduct with our participants through text and email. We conducted voice recordings and text back, while wanting to get the most authentic answers for the survey to create a well-proven analysis. By asking 8 different people, we will be able to conduct a survey and we'll see the most effective for the TXdot campaigns. This will help create more of an understanding about distracted driving campaigns and what could be changed to create better campaigns and better ways of portraying what distracted driving can really do to a person. Next slide, please. Focus group analysis, the findings. The best way to put out the findings is to give the most solid information and to give it written down answers of what the participants believed. We will show the youngest person's views on the TXdot and when the oldest person we interviewed. This will create distinction between people and their answers about the campaigns. The youngest was Maddie Heldenkamp. She is 20 years old. To summarize her views on the campaigns and how she has been affected, out of all the stories we heard, she had the most extreme one. Her friend passed away in a car accident with distracted driving, and I believe this shows younger drivers are more prone to distracted driving. Almost all of the participants who were in their 20s had seen very little about the TXdot campaigns. And even if they were to see them, they were not taken very seriously. And continued for the oldest person we interviewed, Ashley Lafargue, age 33, she showed a lot more enthusiasm and had more to say about the campaigns because she had traveled in other parts of the country that do not have these campaigns. Even with her being in her early 30s, she says she causes herself to be a distracted driver through her phone. Most of the participants regarding their age, they tend to see the campaigns and forget about them right after they have passed the campaigns. Many also did not know that the campaigns even came from the TXdot. A lot of people are not fully aware of TXdot and all the things this company does for the roads and driving.
From our secondary data analysis and focus groups, we have determined that even though the people have seen these campaigns, they don't really have an effect on them. They usually just forget about them once they've seen them. For our client, this means that they are a temporary fix instead of a permanent way to lower the numbers of distracted driving fatalities. Texas Department of Transportation needs to find a way to create longer-lasting campaigns that will have a lasting effect on these drivers. Something has to change because these campaigns are not working. Next slide. We believe in that in order to create a long-term impact on drivers, they must see a real-life example that will create awareness for what could happen. If there is a disturbing image of a crash that resulted from distracted driving on a large billboard, that will make drivers second-guess picking up their phone. Also, most of these drivers ages 20 to 24 and 25 to 34 have children at home. If there's a message about getting back to their kids instead of picking up their phone, this could pull at the heartstrings. Most parents think about their kids in every situation, and once they realize that distracted driving could result in leaving their kids alone, this could have a large impact on them. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being our client.